This is the Microsoft Surface Book 2. It's a hybrid 2-in-1 laptop that can be used as a tablet or a full-blown laptop. Should you pick up Microsoft Surface Book 2 in 2019? Thanks for watching AppleInsider. Don't forget to hit that like button and be sure to hit subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you know when we upload new videos. The Surface Book is essentially the MacBook Pro lineup for Microsoft. It comes in two different sizes. There's a 15-inch and a 13.5-inch variant, and even though Microsoft has its own Surface Pro lineup, its specs are not as powerful or feature-packed as the Book. The model we have for review is a top-of-the-line 13.5-inch Surface Book 2 with an 8th Gen i7 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, 1TB of SSD, and it has Intel's UHD 620 GPU and the NVIDIA GTX 1050 as its dedicated graphics card. And all of this retails for a whopping price of $3,000. Now that's pretty expensive for the specs you're getting, but let's not jump to conclusions just yet. The 13.5-inch Pixel Sense display on the Surface Book is stunning to look at. It has a 3000 by 2000 resolution, which results in a taller display, and it's perfect for browsing the web or creating documents. While the display looks beautiful in its own right, it's not as nice as the MacBook Pro's display due to the fact it doesn't have a P3 wide color gamut, so colors aren't as vibrant and color accurate. But like we just said, it's still a good display, and it's definitely one of the best displays on a Windows laptop. The Surface Book 2 also features 10-point multi-touch and is compatible with the Surface Pen and Surface Dial, which Apple doesn't offer for any of their laptops. Now, we unfortunately don't have the Surface Pen or Dial to review alongside the Surface Book, but it is nice to have the option to use accessories to help you get more out of your laptop. Now, the Trackpad is one of the best I've used on a Windows laptop, and as a daily MacBook Pro user, I appreciate having multi-touch gestures on the trackpad. What I'm not a fan of, though, are the speakers on the Surface Book 2. It's mediocre at best, it distorts at high volumes and lacks bass, and it doesn't get very loud. The 12-inch MacBook sounds way louder and clearer than the Surface Book 2, which is a huge disappointment for such a jam-packed hybrid laptop. Now in terms of I/O, we have plenty of ports on the Surface Book 2, including two USB-A ports, a full-size SDXC card reader, a USB-C port, and the Surface Book's charging port. The charging port is magnetic, which is similar to Apple's old MagSafe technology, which I really like, but I'd be much happier by having another USB-C port, or even better, a Thunderbolt 3 port. Now, battery life on the Surface Book 2 is rated for 13 hours, and during our 2 weeks of testing the laptop, it exceeded our expectations. From web browsing to 30 to 45-minute game sessions and watching videos, we never really felt like we needed to be by a wall outlet and charge the laptop. Now when it comes to performance, the 8th generation quad-core i7 processor on this top-of-the-line Surface Book 2 works really well in everyday tasks and some casual gaming. Now in Geekbench 4, the Surface Book 2 scored 5,081 in single-core and 15,595 in multi-core, which is surprisingly in line with a base model 13-inch MacBook Pro that retails for just $1,299. In Cinebench R20, we received a CPU score of 942, which is way below than the base model 13-inch MacBook Pro, which posted a CPU score of 1583. When it comes to the SSD, we averaged 2,500 megabytes a second for its read speed and 1,200 megabytes a second for its write speed, which is really fast for everyday operation and gaming. In Unigine Heaven, we received a score of 529, an average frames per second of 21, and a max frames per second of 48.3. Now when it comes to gaming, we installed some of the games we play occasionally on PC, and that's Overwatch, Apex Legends, and Black Ops 4. Now we weren't very optimistic about gaming on the GTX 1050, and with Overwatch we were able to play at a constant 60 frames per second in 1080p with settings in medium. With Apex Legends and Black Ops 4 on the other hand, we were able to get 50 to 60 frames per second in its lowest settings in 1080p, which isn't terrible, but the game doesn't look as good versus a gaming laptop with a much higher end graphics card. Now gaming isn't the Surface Book's strong suit, and while it can run some popular titles in low to medium settings at 1080p, serious gamers may want to look elsewhere. So overall, the Surface Book 2 is a solid device for everyday tasks, but the hefty price tag of $3,000 is a bit concerning given the performance is similar to a base model MacBook Pro. However, its unique design, beautiful display, and 2-in-1 functionality is a refreshing change from a traditional laptop, but it is hard to recommend the Surface Book 2 in 2019. We think it's best to wait for the next generation Surface Book or pick up the much more affordable base model 13-inch MacBook Pro.
Hey everyone, did you guys like that video? Be sure to click on that like button so we can create content that we know that you guys want to see. And follow AppleInsider on all social media channels. If you want the best prices on any Apple gear, check out the AppleInsider price guide that is updated daily. And until next time, we'll see you later.